What's up, YouTube? It's Knee to the Face with Week 10 picks. Now, I know it's a little late, but due to a long work week and a short football week to prepare for everything, it's taking me a little longer than I thought to get this out. But here we go. Week 10. Week 9, I was 8-5, which is worse than normal, but I did predict the one that 81% thought I was nuts for picking. The Ravens swept the Steelers on the shoulders of Joe Flacco. Great job, go Ravens. With that being said, and now that my fanness is done and out of the way, let's get to some picks. Alright, first game on my list is San Diego and Oakland. Oakland has looked terrible the last two games with Carson Palmer. He hasn't had a whole lot of time to gel in that system, but he still hasn't looked very good. San Diego looked really good even though Rivers threw 2 more interceptions, or was it 3 more? I think it was 3 more interceptions against the Packers last week, but he was in a situation where he was forced to throw the whole time. He's not going to have that with Oakland. Darren McFadden's still out, so pretty much Oakland's not looking too good right now. San Diego gets the win to go to 5-4. After that, Detroit, Chicago. This is a tough one. Chicago played a phenomenal defensive game against a very dangerous offensive Eagles team. And Jay Cutler had time to throw, and he looked great. Detroit's front line is a little bit stronger, though, so I think they can fluster Jay Cutler. I'm giving Detroit the win here. I think they can do it. It's going to be a close game. I'm calling it within 3. There you go. Next on my list is Jacksonville, Indianapolis. Indianapolis is going to win the suck for luck competition. Jacksonville gets the win, goes to 3-6. Indianapolis goes to 0-10. I say they have a season where they do not win. After that, Denver, Kansas City. Kansas City was highly upset by Miami. They're back in Arrowhead. They're going up against Denver. Tim Tebow can run all over the place, but he still really can't throw unless they keep doing this option deal, which eventually the defensive coordinator is going to be like, oh, wait, what did I do in college to stop this? Oh, that's right. And then they're going to do it. Tim Tebow's days are numbered. Yeah, he's going to probably keep the starting job for the rest of the year. There's only 6 games left in the season after this week. I'm taking Kansas City to win this one. After that, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. Pittsburgh is pissed off. They just got swept by their most hated rivals, and now they have another divisional game coming up against a very strong Cincinnati team. I think Pittsburgh is worn out from how they played against Baltimore. Hines Ward is hurt. A lot of the guys are not happy. Ryan Clark is saying that he may intentionally start hitting people if he's just going to keep getting fined. I see him probably getting kicked out if he keeps that up, which is only going to help Cincinnati out. Let's see, I can't remember where they're playing at, but I'm pretty sure they're playing in the Bengals' home stadium. But either way, even though it's a bit of a long shot, I'm taking Cincinnati to win this one. After that, Buffalo and Dallas. Buffalo is now 5-3. Should they have won some more games? Yeah, but people have started to kind of figure them out. I don't think Dallas has the weapons to employ the same game plan that has taken out Buffalo 3 times. Dallas falls to 4-5. Buffalo 6-3. After that, New Orleans, Atlanta. New Orleans can throw it all over you. Atlanta isn't really capable of stopping that for very long, at least. They did for 1 half against the Green Bay Packers. Don't see them doing it again. That was their attempt at the Super Bowl, and they couldn't pull it off. And they're not doing any better since. Atlanta loses this one. New Orleans gets the win by at least 7. After that, St. Louis, Cleveland. St. Louis, pretty much terrible. Cleveland, pretty much terrible. I still think Cleveland is the more rounded team as long as they can get some sort of ground game going. They don't get a ground game going, they lose. With Peyton Hillis out, that swings the odds a little bit in St. Louis's favor, but I still think that Cleveland gets the win. After that, Washington, Miami. I think last week against the Chiefs was a fluke. That's right, Miami, a fluke. I think they fall to 1-8 on this one. Washington's going to get the win. Not because they're particularly good, but because I think they're more consistent at being mediocre, whereas Miami is fairly consistent at being terrible with brief flashes of brilliance. So Washington gets the win. Houston, Tampa Bay. Houston should get the win on this pretty easily. They're much stronger defensively than pretty much anything Tampa Bay has gone up against. Josh Freeman's going to have his hands full. LeGarrette Blount's going to have his hands full. He may not even get very many yards. If he goes over 75, I'll be impressed. Houston gets the win on this one based on pure defensive play. Pure defensive play and a phenomenal running game that we saw last week. After that, Tennessee, Carolina. I was torn on this one. If Tennessee plays a strong cover 2 like they did against the Ravens, Carolina and Cam Newton could have some things to worry about. With that being said, Cam Newton has showed a lot of brilliance this season, even though he can't seem to win. I think he finds a win here, goes to 3-6. Tennessee falls to 4-5. After that, Philadelphia, Arizona. I think Arizona's cover 2, while decent, isn't very good. It's not nowhere at the level of some of the people that Philadelphia has played. Philadelphia is also not happy. They don't want to fall again after losing to the Bears. Philadelphia gets the win in this one based on just purely the fact that Mike Vick can run it. LaShawn McCoy is having a phenomenal season even though his team's losing. If Philadelphia's defense can step it up, they get the win for sure. If not, then they still probably going to win. After that, Baltimore, Seattle. Now, I know how generally things look. 1 week, like week 1, Ravens played phenomenal. Week 2, they lay an egg. Week 3, they play phenomenal. Week 4, offense lays an egg. Week 5, bye week. Yeah. Week 6, barely win, but it was a good win. Week 7, egg. Week 8, come from behind win. They broke that in Week 9 against the Steelers. I think they do the same again in Week 10, trying to make sure that they get a divisional control and home field advantage, and that they can prove to everybody that last week wasn't a fluke. After that, New York Giants, San Francisco. I'm torn on this one. If the Giants play the way they did against New England, the Giants have a very good shot at winning this. Eli has proven that he's a good clutch, come-from-behind quarterback, even though he's fairly inconsistent the first 2 quarters. However, I have faith in Jim Harbaugh and what he has done with the San Francisco 49ers. They're playing like animals. Alex Smith is having his career right here. I think San Francisco wins this. I would say if the point spread has San Francisco more than 6, I would take the Giants. If it's less than 6, I would take the 49ers. Alright, after that, Green Bay, Minnesota. Green Bay goes to 9-0. Minnesota goes to 2-7. Minnesota hasn't looked that good, which is sad because they have the league's leading rusher. Given Christian Ponder's looked good, but they don't have what it takes to beat Green Bay in any aspect of the game. Offensively, defensively, special teams, no. They're not going to do it. So, there you go. Green Bay gets the win on that one. And finally, my last pick, and the one that I'm forced to pick scores for, New England against the New York Jets. Now, the Jets and the Patriots are kind of, sort of, but not nearly as good of a rivalry as the Ravens and the Steelers. They know each other pretty well. They have to bring something new to the table every time in order to try to get the win. Last couple of times New England's done it, but the Jets do know what's up, and they do play good, sound, solid defense. With Tom Brady being pissed off at losing 2 straight, I think the Jets piss him off just a little bit more, but the Patriots still win it. I'm calling it a 28-20 based on poor performance from Mark Sanchez, who I don't believe is a quality quarterback, and the fact that they don't have a very solid running game. Whereas New England, no solid running game, but they have a very solid quarterback, still elite status, and a lot of weaponry, especially a tight end, which the Jets have had problems stopping tight ends. I'm calling it 28-20 New England victory. So there you go. There's my Week 10 picks. If you have any questions, comments, want to know what fantasy guys to start, who cares, go ahead, drop me a line right down here, and I will answer them within the next 48 hours. Even if it's after the Thursday night game starts, I don't care. With that, YouTube world, have a terrific day. And here we go, more football.